Sophie Cunningham fires back at Skip Bayless over bizarre narrative on Caitlin Clark's injury. The Indiana Fever might finally be finding their rhythm, holding a solid 19-16 record as the playoff race heats up. But despite their recent surge, injury troubles continue to overshadow the team's progress. Most notably, cornerstone Caitlin Clark has been sidelined with an ongoing groin issue, forcing her to miss the last 13 consecutive games. While fans have eagerly awaited her return, analysts like Skip Bayless have stirred up questionable narratives surrounding her absence. Now one of Clark's fiercest teammates has decided to set the record straight. Why did Sophie Cunningham defend Caitlin Clark against Skip Bayless? In the latest episode of the Show Me Something Sophie Cunningham and West Wilson podcast, Sophie Cunningham wasted no time in addressing Bayless's comments head-on. Her response was cold, straightforward, and left no room for misinterpretation. When you're an elite-level player, you not being able to play is the hardest part. Mentally, physically, emotionally. You know what I mean? Like, it's not playing. It's when you're playing is like when you're a part of it. Like you're built for that. So when people have say stuff like that, I'm just like, just shut up, said Cunningham during the podcast. But what exactly did Bayless say to spark this backlash? After Clark withdrew from All-Star Weekend, Bayless suggested during an episode of his podcast that the Fever star's absence wasn't primarily due to injury. Instead, he implied that Clark wanted to make a statement by sitting out, showing the league how much the game's viewership would suffer without her presence. Ultimately, as I record this, the ratings for Saturday night's All-Star game are not out yet. But I'm pretty certain they won't be anywhere near last year's record of 3.44 million. I'm pretty sure without Caitlin Clark that did not happen. So this all made me wonder if maybe Caitlin got so tired of all the ungrateful resentment and all that petty jealousy that she finally said, "Okay, let's see how you do without me," said Bayless during an episode of the Skip Bayless Show. At the time, many fans blasted Bayless for downplaying Clark's health struggles. Cunningham finally took matters into her own hands to defend her teammate. How has Cunningham shown her loyalty to Clark before? This isn't the first time Cunningham has shown that she has Clark's back. Back on June 17, during a heated matchup between the Fever and the Connecticut Sun, Marina Mabrey knocked Clark hard to the floor in the third quarter. With just 47 seconds remaining in that same game, tensions reached a boiling point. JC Sheldon drove to the basket for what appeared to be a routine layup attempt. However, as Sheldon went up for the shot, Cunningham grabbed Sheldon's hair and pulled her down to the floor in what appeared to be retaliation for the earlier incident involving Clark. Although Cunningham was immediately ejected from the game and assessed a flagrant 2 foul for her actions, she was also given a fine hours after the game finished. However, she was surprisingly cheered by Fever fans who viewed her aggressive move as justified revenge for what had happened to their star player in the third quarter. Unfortunately, Cunningham's own season has now come to a screeching halt. On Tuesday, the Fever announced that she would miss the remainder of the 2025 campaign after suffering a serious knee injury in the August 17, 2025, game against Connecticut. As for Clark, there is still cautious optimism. Before her injury, she averaged an impressive 16.5 points, 8.8 assists, and 5 rebounds per game. Moreover, head coach Stephanie White recently confirmed that Clark is expected to return before the end of the regular season, which could provide a much-needed boost as Indiana eyes the postseason. In the meantime, the Fever will rely on Kelsey Mitchell and Aliyah Boston to keep their momentum alive. Their next test is against the Minnesota Lynx on August 22, 2025.